Hey everybody out there, okay, now part 2 of my Christmas pickup video. One thing I did forget in the last video was my son also got these Sonic candies, which he tried the candies and didn't like it, but anyway, he got the candies. So, let me explain to you why I was surprised of all the systems my wife got me. She got me a Dreamcast. You see, back in around 2000, I wanted a Dreamcast really bad. And I wanted to charge it on the credit card, and she didn't want me to. And despite her not wanting me to, I did it anyway. And I made a classic mistake that you should never make when you do something you're not supposed to. I bought a game for her too, thinking this would make it better. Well, only two things come out of this. Either you think they're cheap because you're buying the game, or you just make them matter. And it made her matter at the whole thing. And so the whole time I had a Dreamcast, she would never touch it. And by the way, the game, I got the Sports Bundle Sega Dreamcast when I originally had the Dreamcast. And I got her Sonic Adventure, and she never one time ever touched it. Didn't want anything to do with the system, wanted me just to get rid of it, to be honest. And I only played a couple games on the system, to be honest. I had the 2K football game, and then I had, I believe I got World Series 2K1 baseball. I had rented Shenmue at one point, and I had rented Gradius 2, and I think that was in Sonic Adventure I tried a little bit. So that was all I've ever played on the Dreamcast. But of all the systems for her to get me, now it took her a year and a half to find this deal I'm about to show you. Part of the deal I'm going to show you. So originally, I want to say about a month before Christmas, she comes to me with this list. Now I did not get to see the front page of the Craigslist, so, and on that front page they had like Shenmue, games that would have told me these games are for a Dreamcast. But she showed me a page and a half of games and said pick out 6 that you'd definitely want, and 6 that you maybe want. Now Virtual On was on there, but I couldn't remember if it was that one or the PlayStation version. That was about as far as I thought about it. And so I picked all 12 games. And she contacted the seller about it, and he had put individual prices for the games, or $100 for everything. And so the prices for those 12 games would have came out to almost $60. And so she decided, she'd pay $100 for all of it. Now, to understand, this was 83 games for $100 that she got. Actually, it was 82. D2 was the only game he had already sold for the Dreamcast. So, here we go. Show you what I got for Christmas. Now, I did not get the Dreamcast for Christmas. I actually got it for my birthday. So, actually, if I would have opened all these games and not got to open my birthday gift, I'd have just been waiting. But I'm going to start off with the peripheries first. The first periphery I got was a Dreamcast visual memory unit. I got a Dreamcast controller. Now, there's a funny story about this Dreamcast controller. Somewhere along the line, getting Dreamcast stuff, she procured this controller. And at the pawn shop that we go to all the time, we know the guy who's the manager really well, and his wife. And he asked if we had a Dreamcast controller, and I looked at the stuff, from my mom's pawn shop and stuff. And I had a Dreamcast controller, but the controller wired was frayed. I never really looked at it because I didn't have any system to play it on. So she got this for him for a Dreamcast he had. And she traded this for another controller, which I will show you in my birthday video. It was really cool. But anyway, ironically, that fell through, and she ended up getting the Dreamcast and this controller back from him. So this controller's never been opened. It's still sealed, actually. Still in the package. It's never been opened. So that is always awesome to have an unopened controller. The next thing I got was a Tremor pack. I've never actually, outside the Advantage, I've never had an arcade-like stick before, and she got this Dreamcast Enforcer. It's really cool to play with, fighting games with. And also in that bundle of 80 games, she did get the Enforcer and these 2 steering wheels I'm about to show you. The Mad Catz Dream Wheel, and the Mad Catz 2 racing wheel for the Dreamcast. So got all these accessories, which is funny she got the steering wheels because really I don't have a lot of room, so I had to find somewhere to put them. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. So let's get to the games. The first game is Tomb Raider Chronicle. Now, ironically enough, I've only tried the first Tomb Raider game. I've never played one since then, so it'll be interesting to play this. Ironically enough, for some reason he had 2 copies of Ultimate Fighting Championship on the Dreamcast. Incoming. Of course, good old Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. I've always wanted to try this series, but I never have, so I'll have to try this game out. Death Crimson OX. That beeping sound is actually the washer being done. Deep Fighter, which looks like a I almost want to say like Shockwave in the 3DO kind of game, where you're going around shooting stuff. Of course, good old NFL 2K1. Jeremy McGrath's Supercross 2000. Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2 for the good old fun type of boxing. WWF Royal Rumble. I always like going back and playing the older wrestling games, see what they're like. It'll be fun to play that. And 7th of Cross Evolution. Now, I'm a big Gundam fan, so Gundam Rise from the Ashes Side Story 0079. So I'll be able to try some good old mech combat. Now I get to some of the RPG. One I've always wanted to play, but I have never played before. Record of Lodoss War. This game's still sealed in a package. Silent Scope. I loved playing this game. Good old arcade game. And this is the only Japanese game that this lot came with, and it is Blue Stinger. Ironically enough, in the next video I'll show you I also have the American version, but I just saw Saddam Todd's video where he used Utopia 2 to play his Japanese or PAL region games on his Dreamcast, and I may do that eventually after playing the American version to see if this is any different. Next up is Gradia 2. Now, I don't remember, again, I ran this game, I only ran it, so I didn't realize that, it came with the game, and also the back part comes with the soundtrack. But I played this game, I actually liked it, I just never got it to beat it, so I can't wait to actually play this game. Phantasy Star Online version 2. Draconis Cult of the Worm. Looks like an action game. Now, I did not even realize that there was a RPG series on there called Evolution, and this one's The World of Sacred Device. Looks pretty interesting. And then also there's got Evolution 2, the sequel. I liked Landstalkers a lot on the Genesis, so I can't actually wait to try this Time Stalkers. Looks a lot like the vein of the one on the Genesis, so I can't wait to try this one out and see what it's like. Okay, next up, Industrial Spy Operation Espionage. Looks an interesting espionage game. And here's a game that, again, I rented, I liked it, but I never got around to it. I can't wait to actually play this game and beat it, and that is Shenmue. And I didn't even know this game was out on the Dreamcast. Sonic Shuffle, basically like a Mario, looks like a Mario Party clone type game. Next up is Dynamite Cop, good old-fashioned arcade shooter. Chronicles of Pern Dragon Riders. I've read the Pern books, but I've never actually played. Didn't even know there's a Pern game out, so I'll have to try this. Then good old fun, Worms Armageddon. Who doesn't like some worms? For another gun shooting game, Outrigger. For some racing fans, Test Drive 6. Roadsters. Be interested to see how different these racing games are on here. And I like Bomberland, so Bomberman Online, this will be fun to play. Obviously not the online part, because I can't play online anymore. And now let's get to the last pile. Ill Bleed. This kind of looks like, you know, kind of like, you know, horror. Almost kind of reminds me of some way Splatter Trigger on the, not Splatter Trigger, but, you know, on the TurboGrafx 16 horror game. It's pretty cool. Was it Make an X? And good old Soul Calibur. I haven't played this game since I played in the arcades a long time ago, so it'll be interesting to go back and play this game. Spec Ops 2, Omega Squadron. Never really got into Spec Ops, so it'll be interesting to play this game. And for another old shooter series, Soldier of Fortune. Conflict Zone Modern War Strategy. Don't know what that game is about. And good old Unreal Tournament, which I never really played the original Unreal Tournament, so it'll be interesting to go back and try some of it. You know, until I got Vegas 2, I've never actually played a Rainbow Six game, so it'll be interesting to go back and play this. Rainbow Six Rogue Squadron, and then the original Rainbow Six. Quake 3 Arena, War Shooter. And then MDK2, Outsnipe, Outshoot, Outthink. The last one is classic that I've actually can't wait to go back and play, because I've actually played a little bit of this on the PC one time, but I never actually have gone through the whole game, and that'd be Half-Life. So guys, that's all what I got for Christmas. I did not get the Dreamcast for Christmas. I actually got it for my birthday, so I got almost as many games to show you for my birthday pickup, and a cool controller I got, plus the Dreamcast. So guys, till my birthday pickup video.